interesting one. A very different draft from the first two games. Very different draft from what we've seen this entire qualifier. I am just surprised we run it back to the Pangolier, considering, again, options like Lina Leshrak. But, you know, maybe Abed proves us wrong here, Mike.
Oh, I think it's just the Coddle matchup. It's just the classic Panga versus Coddle mid. It seems to be something we see very, very frequently against the Keeper of the Light mid, so... You know, as much as I hate seeing Pango again, it doesn't matter. It's fine, bring it back. We'll see what it does here for Blacklist Rivalries. We do have our final game of the night. By the way, John, this is probably the one game where I wouldn't have minded seeing the other facet for Venomancer. It would have been pretty funny watching Plague Wards with a Rolling Thunder, but sadly, again, we're not going to get it.
No. They need to buff the Plague Wards on that facet, you know? Give it like 10 more damage.
I bet you they will.
That actually sounds really busted.
I bet they'll do it.
Would be
too.
nice.
One day you're going to be like, oh, I told you so, Mike. How great is this facet? And I'm like, John, they changed it about 10 times before it became useful, but you're gonna run away with it. I know you. You're going to drive me nuts for a solid couple of weeks.
You know me. Just like Lion Manadrain, Mikey.
Yeah.
Just like Lion Manadrain.
It only took about 20 changes for that to be effective, but
it was so good. So good.
You were right,
I never
John.
take the Mandarin facet, by the way. I take Fist of Death now.
I mean, Fist, you can't say no to Fist. I mean, you literally pimp slap people. John, how can you say no to that?
3 stacks. 3 stacks of finger. 3 stacks off your first kill if you're lucky. It feels good, man. It feels so good.
It's nice. I'll give it to you, John. It is nice. Did you? I mean, you never predicted that part, to be fair.
No, no one could have.
How could you predict that?
Coming? How could you predict? How could you predict Lion would be slapping everyone? No one could have. So happy if it happened, though. Still breaking into these lanes. No excitement. 2 for 2 in the bounties. Nothing too exciting here. Do you see the early clump up for Talon? Not going to pay off with no one showing up in lane to block. And they will just block these creeps as a unit. Why are there 4 heroes down here from Talon? Just get the early clear on the range creep?
I think they just wanted to get a kill going early on, but it doesn't come for him. Oh, the body blocks from Natsumi. Oh, he gets it. Natsumi gets the body block that he wanted on the creep wave, so with that, the creep equilibrium is in a very ugly place now for Talon.
Yeah, should be able to find a lot more now. For Natsumi in the initial 2 waves, considering lane control, going to be a little bit rougher for the side of Talon. They do at least snipe Zhao's courier, which is actually important for the Mango. So he only really has maybe 1 or 2 uses left of the Gale. Jokam will cop it and experience high-end gameplay from Zhao, of course. But he is trying to get the pull and should still be successful. It is painful with Poison Sting on top, but it's not enough to really stop Jokam at the least. It does cost the Blood Grenade on top, so you will still get the EXP you'd want here for Jokam and for WS. But again, no threat onto Natsumi for the farm. Is freely just going to build up in this lane. And double melee into Zhao is just not going to be fun at any point in this stage. Maybe by level 3 again. With level 2 rebound, you could start to threaten, but until that point, this is just going to be all the way for Blacklist here down bot.
How's that mid lane going? Abed and Chuen going at it here on the Keeper of the Light versus Pango. I mean, to be fair, we've seen this quite a few times. You know Chuen's just going to keep rotating over to clear jungle camps. Unfortunately for him, however, they are blocked, so he has to buy some sentries to sort that out. Only 1 camp being blocked, though, so not the biggest deal in the world. Just a little bit of a nuisance here for the Coddle.
Still manages to get the 1 stack. Well, it doesn't actually stack the other camp, but we'll have it open, at least for the taking later on. And, you know, when he doesn't leave mid, he does have superior time clearing out the creep wave. Not much Abed can really do to stop that, as to be expected from the Coddle. So this earn timing going to be key for Chuen into the Spirit Vessel. Abed, if he does get some support rotations in, can set up. And with the Facet, the level 6 rolls should be pretty scary to play into. With that decreased turn rate and increased turn speed, move speed. The lower duration might be painful, but it doesn't feel like the biggest deal in the world. We'll have to see down the line. Still, the last lane we haven't looked at as well. Up top, Ponyo Akashi on Io Gyro. Up against Gabby and Tim's on the Shadow Team.
Oh, poor old Jokam. Trying to get out of here. No chance in hell. No chance. He's gone. Januel going to find the kill. And sadly, now you've got a walk of shame to make.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you get for dual melee into the Venmancer lane. It's not going to be easy to even just get the pulls back. And WS is not healthy here either. You get Chuen dying to the neutral.
We're also being ganked,
At
so
least he denies off.
yeah, he does get the deny off here. Not the biggest steal in the world for him, but it does mean Arbit just has a completely free lane here on the Pangolier, and might be a cause of concern because the timings for the Keeper of the Light, like the urn is going to come out soon, but I kind of wonder where he heads to find those initial charges. And even his XP on the Keeper of the Light's nothing really that impressive yet. Still just stuck at level 4 behind Arbit.
Yeah. All the lanes are actually going atrociously bad for Talon. Akashi's farm slowing down. WS doesn't feel like he has a lane. And even Akashi, he did go for homing missile and flat cannon. Doesn't have the barrage, so he can't even try for the rundown early on up against Gabby. Gabby does offer 2 points in retaliate though, so that does make it hard to commit anyhow.
Gabby, on the top lane, he doesn't really care for any of the harassment Talon's trying to deal to him. He's actually just taking through it. The retaliate probably hurting them more than he's getting hurt. Tims will eventually make his appearance back into the lane. Because Gabby, he's going to be fine no matter what. Like, this Centaur is just too tanky at the moment. This stupid Bracer build-up is a bit too ridiculous right now for any Centaur players out there, and he'll be just fine to stay. I mean, you're definitely not going to see any kills here from Talon up at top lane.
No, it's going to be difficult. At least with the sustain of the Yayo, you can stay in that lane as well. Jokam snipes some two big couriers. Natsumi. Gale misses as well.
Oopsie daisies. Natsumi now in trouble, and WS will have it. That's a big pick-up to find. Sadly, just nothing landing correctly here for Blacklist Rivalry. Happy days, though, at the very least for the side of Talon.
Again, they snipe 2 couriers on top of that, slowing down the initial boots for Zhao, slowing down some more additional items here for Natsumi. They do lose Akashi's courier up top as well from Gabby, just chasing down and getting the pull-off. But you are, again, finding some relief for this pretty atrocious lane for WS. Again, you are still in a very happy state considering laning phase for the side of Blacklist. They're already invading early as well to try to stop Chuen, dropping another forward ward to watch when that Kotl will farm. Having so much vision on the top jungle already will be warded off at least. And you do already have that urn up for Chuen. So once you hit 6 with a Solar Bind, should have some play. They are doing some good harassment onto Gabby. Never enough to really kill him off, but enough to at least make him pull back from the lane. Still has 15 charges on the wand, so can just maintain presence. I think the big difference is really just how much you have to babysit down bot.
Jump out from Jokam, though Jokam's very, very low, so he might give his life away for this kill. He does go down, but Chuen is here. They want those initial earn charges, and they are going to get them. A nice start here for Chuen. Problem is a lot of TPs incoming onto WS means that WS may have to die as well. Though Januel will die to boot, so Chuen does get himself a very nice kill, but now Arbit's here. And that should mean another kill to go the way of Blacklist Rivalry as Chuen has no way out. A very strong rotation coming out from Arbit, ensuring they still find the better end of these trades.
With the amp damage rune, the output of this Pangolier is way up there. And again, it's so easy now to land these rolls with that Thunderbolt facet. Duration being down doesn't feel like the biggest deal. It's much easier to just maximize what you have on hand early on. 4-3, Talon finding some trades back, but still overall a very happy time for Blacklist so far. Abed top of the network early, Natsumi not too far behind from Chuen. And WS and Akashi having a very slow time. And Gabby as well not having the fastest, but it is a Centaur. It just needs Blade Mail Blink, or just really a triple Bracer timing, and it's going to be set. So not too much pressure there for Gabby, just really needing the EXP. I think for Talon's part, we have to see some more from Chuen, right? Like I like the rotation down bot, Spirit Vessel not too far off, but he has to maintain that tempo once that Spirit Vessel's up. The moment you step off the gas, Blacklist will overtake you in every step. Again, your bot lane's already kind of shot up, your Marcy's stuck at level 4. Like it is slow going on some of these side lanes here.
They'll try again. Rebound was there onto Natsumi, and Chuen has shown up, but they are not going to find the dispose they wanted from Jokam. Tims was there with the disruption just in case they required it, and they certainly did. I appreciate the aggression coming out from Talon here with this mid-keeper, but it seems like Blacklist are going to try and cut off Chuen here. They'll find the power in. Well, they won't because it's up top. Keeper's going to be fine. Ponyo will actually just deny off the illusion, of course. Not allowing Abed the free bottle refill. And now you do have the full Spirit Vessel up on Chuen. See if he can keep the kills rolling, because it does feel like Blacklist are very well prepared to fight back every single time he does rotate.
They are. Jokam.
Does go down. Zhao able to pick up a kill on the Venomancer now, and I mean, not too much to write home about, just to support Jokam kill. Bit of an attempt here onto Gabby, but of course with the IO Gyrocopter, Gabby's not going to die. He's perfectly fine to just walk out of there and continue farming up that blade mail.
I really like this build from Gabby. Just 204, not even bothering double edge. Knows he can just clear out the creep wave normally. And just has no kill threat onto himself. So not allowing any weaknesses to be exposed onto Talon. Blacklist still keeping that tempo down bot. An aggressive position being taken by Zhao. Trying to scout out. Does, I believe, spot some of the stacks, but not able to contest yet. Still buying a lot of free space for Natsumi. Battle Fury slowly being built up. Cornucopia already up for Natsumi here early on. Happy days for the trolls so far. And for the rest of the Talon chorus, it has been a little bit slow going. Abed starting to pull really far away now on that Pango, considering all this early activity. The Diffusal only about 150 gold off. And once that's up on the Pango, things can go southbound very fast. Like, there's a lot of play here for Abed. That's going to be a really good launching point for them to keep that aggression, keep that counter-aggression up against what Talon would want to do with his tempo here.
A bit of a down period here in the action. So we are going to find a nice little regen rune here for Jokam. Blacklist will finally smoke up as 3. So they want to try and head up north towards Akashi, but it's going to be a bit of a walk up. Chuen's trying to farm towards the boot to travel right now, so probably won't be around to try and defend this top tier 1 tower if Blacklist do commit. Akashi, I mean, they are getting a little bit closer here to the Gyrocopter. But they won't want to go too deep. Not by the T2 tower. Instead, Blacklist Rivalry just going to commit for the bottom tier 1, and they should have their way with it as well. I don't think Talon are going to bother even trying to defend this. We'll probably just let it go down for free.
Yeah, they know this is a strong point. They see Abed with the Diffusal. It's going to be really hard to fight into that one at this point in the game. We'll rotate mid, smoke out from Talon as well with Chuen. Wants to use the Spirit Vessel somehow.
He's going to find himself Shell. Getting any kill's a good kill right now, but the problem is the Stampede has been popped and Chuen's actually just backing out. Not 100% confident he's got the kill here, and Zhao is actually perfectly fine for now.
That
I think he was
very strange.
He was a little bit, I think he was concerned about them coming in from the back. Or having the rotations onto the tier 2 tower, but yeah, it cost them the kill altogether.
I mean, he didn't dispose into the Illuminate, I think is the bigger issue. It didn't quite connect. So, Zhao is perfectly fine. A little bit surprised. Just off the mark on the aiming there for the side of Talon. Nice dodge, of course, for Blacklist. They can set their sights onto mid. The gank up top did fail, but they've got this push potential now. Again, max out Retaliate. It's a little bit slower in the tower siege, but there's really nothing to stop Gabby with a Blade Mail max Retaliate at all at this point. He's just free to take it. Talon just don't have that play yet. WS does have his blink up, but the follow-through just doesn't feel safe. At least not until maybe you get more in Akashi. Almost reminiscent of what Aurora were doing yesterday to Talon. They're trying to replicate it here now. Stalling for time. The one thing is that it just doesn't fit into what a Kotl wants to do, so we'll have to see down the line. Triangle Invasion already out from Blacklist. They spot out the stacks. Could try to clear it out with Abed. Not going to force it just quite yet. And Talon, again, they're maintaining net worth, but it does feel like a very fine line to walk. Scabby now with a Blade Mail already has the blink up. Even more angles for them to take, and they will just eventually clear out these stacks. Abed can get a nice gold injection. into the build-up to the Ags.
It feels like a very similar kind of conversation to what we had with Savage, right? Like, Blacklist might be thinking, like, if Talon want us to just farm, we'll just farm. You know, they're the ones that have a bit more of a timer, I'd imagine. Like, the keeper, the mid keeper is just feeling very lackluster at the moment. It's just fighting farm, but it means really nothing if you can't abuse it. I think Natsumi on the troll will be more than happy to just play a very slow game. I'm not exactly sure how concerned you really get about this IO gyrocopter as time goes on here, but it seems like Blacklist are just more than happy to just keep this farm game going. In fact, they'll smoke up now. Line's being drawn towards the Marcy.
Not the biggest pickoff, but anything you can find is good. Talon as well, trying to chase something down with Chuen and WS. Just on the opposite sides of the map, with no one there.
Well, they pop the Stampede. Joe Camp is going to try and use the pig out, but it won't really work in his favor as Gabby is going to catch him. And Joe Camp will eventually die to the Centaur. Talon, they have smoked up to Burt, but their smoke doesn't really amount to anything. They won't find themselves a nice target. They could try for the top tier 1 tower, and it seems like that's probably what they'll do.
Just get a nice objective to take, maybe allow you to sneak into the triangle a little bit more. They do have to repair their lanes. There is a threat of an imminent push here from Blacklist, which again, they can achieve quite fast, especially if Natsumi chokes up. Overall, again, a really good game state for Blacklist. You've got the full Battle Fury up for Natsumi going to the Yasha. Could consider the Manta here just to get a Dispel off. And Talon on WS.
Could be in a bit of danger here, WS. He's going to try to run, but they'll get the Noxious Plague out, and looks like he's got no way out of here. WS is just down. Yeah, this feels a little bit lackluster on Talon's end here, John. I'll be frank with you. Just not seeing what the game plan is.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad from Talon, quite frankly, as well. I get the build-up. It's coming out for Joe Cam with a BKB, so Marcy BKB is going to be there. It isn't like something fast like what we see from Sin Q off a strong laning phase. You are lagging behind in WS's farm. Chuen, his impact's not really felt. Like, Blacklist have complete control. This could be another runaway game for them.
Feels like it right now. Tim's, he'll go for a disruption to the gyrocopter. Akashi's still going to be allowed to walk away anyway. It's not really any kind of setup, but Blacklist again just seem very, very confident being able to just farm for the moment. On top of the net worth board is Akashi, but it is just Akashi. The rest of his team is struggling quite a lot when it comes to the net worth department. As mid lane, they are trying to make the jump on Gabby. Gabby's popped his blade mail. They'll relocate, but a 4-man hoof stop is out. Does he have any help incoming? Arbit's going to try and get there with the Rolling Thunder, but no. They do get the Centaur. It was a kind of a close call.
They do manage to change them just enough that Stampede fades at the tail end, so at least the hoof stomp isn't really able to do much for Gabby. And they also dodge out this gank attempt up top that was lined up for Akashi and Ponyo. So a nice set of events coming out for Talon, evens out the game a little bit more. They do need a lot more to keep rolling here. You need the BKBs to come out for WS. Octarine coming out for Chuen. There is some teamfight potential if he can farm into the Shard plus Scepter. The Will-O-Wisp can cause some issues. It does feel like it will melt really fast on Natsumi though, all things considered. And again, you've got some good save options here on Blacklist side. There's some key items still waiting here for Blacklist. Full Ags for Abed, not too far off. Manta again for Natsumi into the BKB. Plenty of defense for this troll to play frontline. Nothing to really worry about, again, with the coverage that you are getting here from your Shadow Demon as well. Talon, like this investment into the Marcy BKB, it has to pay off somewhere. My concern is you could easily just Demonic Purge the Marcy. Whether or not the Marcy should be the target for that even, probably not. Probably not an early concern at the very least. Still, net worth is even 7-4. We'll see if Talon can try to repeat playing around to relocate. Again, very reminiscent of what Aurora did yesterday. Look for opportunities, don't force anything out, keep farming up on the gyrocopter, and play for the long con.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
A lot of faith being put into Akashi to be able to carry this game for them. He's got the Ags up now in the gyrocopter. He's still well and truly ahead of anyone else in terms of the net worth department. Natsumi behind him by about 600 gold. Mid lane a group up somewhat, but it's just defense from Tims and Gabby. Top lane pings are coming out. Januel looks to move into that dire jungle just a little bit, but well, I bet Natsumi now going to shop as well, seeing the gyro, but it's a question of whether you can actually get close enough to actually kill him. It seems like Blacklist is slowly becoming a little bit more impatient with the way this game's going, and I mean, they are searching for kills, but Talon doing a very good job of just completely avoiding any kind of kill to come.
Ooh. I like the itemization in WS, going for the halberd, easy solution for the output of Natsumi. So, not feeling like he really needs a BKB, wants a way to stop the troll from getting things done. Still, Roche open for Blacklist, they've got control up top. We will go into the pit, and Talon probably not willing to fight in that area. So a nice objective to maybe open up more objectives to take here for the side of Blacklist. Does not take too long with a troll on hand. With that safety net again, you can start to really shut Talon out from finding anything on the map. Although, Talon are still sneaking around with smoke, but it does go too fast.
It does go too fast, but maybe they can hope for a big fight. WS going to see Tims. It's a nice target to start on, but Tims will get the disruption in time. Arbit's going to go for the Rolling Thunder. The two-man hoof stop as well, right on the relocate of the IO. Ponyo might just drop. They've got the control of the gyrocopter to boot. It's not looking too great for Talon. Akashi finally able to get some hits in, but it means nothing. They just completely... Oh, Natsumi though! Natsumi does get caught in the troll. He did not have the Aegis. It's Arbit who picked it up. So a 2-for-3 trade, still in the favor of Blacklist. Oh, I say 2-for-3, it was a 3-for-3. Tims ended up buying back.
Yeah. It's a big swing for Talon now. 1.4k gold going to Blacklist, 2k for Talon. Only about a difference of 600. But you are starting to see some play come in for Talon. The output on Chuen is still significant. Again, no one went for early BKBs, so you still have a lot to pump out. And with the sustain that Ponyo is providing onto Akashi, he does not care too much about the blade mail. His own BKB is not too far off here on Akashi. With a sidekick as well, there's just a lot of regen on hand for the gyrocopter to play with. We'll go on to the Tormentor, find a nice freebie for themselves. We'll get more utility on Jokam with a rebound. He has more angles to consider now, as he can jump onto the enemies, jump through the enemies, so you're not stymied by just waiting for your allies to be up front. Again, the BKB is slowly inching here for our Marcy. I think the way to go for Talon is really consider Jokam as the actual secondary core, rather than Chuen. Chuen will cap off at some point. Jokam will take cover, will kind of take care of the responsibility of scaling at that point. It's going to take a long time, but they are aligned for it with that BKB pickup. 2k lead now coming out for Talon, and for the side of Blacklist, again, you're not in a bad position yet. You still are farming up. You've got the full Lotus coming out for Gabby in short order. You've got the Mantodon on Natsumi. He's going for the full BKB. Natsumi will have to pop Battle Trance to clear out the Tormentor, but we'll find it nice and quick for his team. Abed has the full Ags now. Was not available in the last fight. So he has way more presence with that Rolling Thunder. And he can really start to melt down heroes like Chuen if he's not too careful. It just feels like this now, it's starting to come down to just execution. Who manages to get that good jump? Who manages to get that setup on these team fights? Last fight, it felt like Talon isolating out Tims, removing the save. But Blacklist, again, it's a lot of steady options. Blink Hoof Stomp is available. You've got Disruption to save. You've got the wards to scout around. You've got Abed with a full Ags. Only really needs Octarine Blink to really feel secure now as the Pango. I don't think Blacklist should be worried at all.
Doesn't really feel like they are. They're still pretty much controlling most of the map. Big 5-man smoke though from Talon. Maybe they're finally ready to get going. Head through the mid lane. Jokam will deal with the creep wave. Talon will actually make their way into the Radiant jungle instead now, heading down towards the bottom tier 2 tower. And Akashi's going to show himself, so they give up on the smoke. They're just going to try and maybe force a fight by this tier 2 bottom. Otherwise, they'll just take the tier 2 tower. It seems like Blacklist Rivalry, rather than going for the defense, they'd rather just slowly siege the top tier 2 themselves. And I say slowly, I do mean very slowly. They're not really committing any bodies for it.
They're holding on to an area where they have really good obs at. Yeah, nice aggressive ward by the cliff. They can see any approach Talon would want to make. And can kind of pick and choose their fights. They are a little bit blind down bot, although there is a forward ward watching the area that WS was farming in. Will be able to back off in the nick of time, though, as the collapse is there. Time and Aegis, only about 40 seconds left. Not able to really find a tier 2 off the back of it. Now we've got Jokam's BKB up on the Marcy as well. So further options on the initiation to follow through from WS's jump in. Have to see if it pays off. They're playing under the vision of Blacklist on that cliff. Pink coming out onto the wrong area. And Blacklist for their part, again, you really don't mind playing the long game. BKB for Natsumi, just lacking the recipe. Shivas for Abed coming out next over the Octarine that he was queuing up. Should allow even more presence to try to melt through the softer targets on Talon. Aegis will expire, but you're not too concerned on Blacklist about that.
No, I don't think you are. We're still 10-7, 24 minutes in. Neither side's really met each other, you know, in what feels like an eternity.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still, the farm game just continues as Blacklist Rivalry now. They'll go for a 4-man smoke up. We'll see if they can actually catch anyone, though. They'll see Akashi would be a great target, but they don't. I'm sure they don't have the faith that they can burst him down that quick. They're still running towards him. Still got his 9-second BKB charge ready to go here on the gyrocopter, but Gabby's going to find him. The hoof stomp is there. They'll try for the gyro. Akashi gets the BKB off in time, but needs to go for the fight. Natsumi's in with the battle transstone. They've got Akashi down. Not a good start at all for Talon, as they've lost 3 for the price of 1. WS going to run. He'll make it out, but it's still a fantastic trade here for Blacklist Rivalry. And even with the IO to back up the gyrocopter, they just did not have enough.
There's no lifesteal just yet on Akashi. The full Daedalus isn't complete either. So his presence is really limited. WS couldn't come in with a halberd as well. No security of something like the BKB. And that was Talon getting out a good scan as well to spot out that initial movement in. They hold a very awkward position right by the stairs, not even on the high ground for Akashi. And they get punished severely. Also, this vision still from Blacklist, still standing on the cliff. They got glimpses of Jokam. They know the general area Talon was playing in. And they just clean up. 2k lead coming out for Blacklist off the back of that. Talon on the back foot once more. And it does feel like their options are very limited. It's down to just waiting for Akashi to finish up this farm into the Daedalus Satanic. Try to get this Ags up on 2N. Maybe get this full Ags up in WS along with BKB, and then you start to feel more secure. But if you don't manage to disarm Natsumi, then he's just going to rip you guys apart in direct head-to-head. There's no sustain just yet for this gyro.
No, there ain't nothing. It's just all on Ponyo to keep him alive, and that's certainly not proving to be anywhere near enough yet. WS pretty nearby the side of Blacklist. I mean, they might have a look. Natsumi is going to make his appearance around the area, realizes there's no ancient cap, but does not check north. Blacklist, I mean, they're still gripping up. It's going to be a 5-man smoke rotation. There's no vision to see that happening. Running right towards the Keeper of the Light. In fact, Akashi's a closer target. They might find him first, and they do. The BKB was there in time, though this time Akashi, he's still copped the battle trance of Natsumi. Still being forced to man up here against the Troll Warlord, but there's no manning up. He's down. Once again, the gyrocopter just dies so quickly here off the back of the setup of Gabby. They'll find Jokam to boot. Arbit's still going. WS sticking around, trying to find a kill for himself, but it's not really going to work out for him. He just needs to get out. Try for the TP. Looks like he'll make it. But you lost 3 for 1 again. And just Akashi just is unable to survive any kind of initiation here from Natsumi, even with the BKB being committed. It just means nothing.
They need WS to stick around with this Io Gyrocopter. They need to play as a unit. Without this disarm, again, it's a free game for Natsumi to just face off against the Gyro. The Halberd is the difference maker here from Talon. And it's just not there. Again, he was camping down bot, he was clearing out the Ancients, late to the rotation on that engagement from Blacklist. Blacklist, for their part, controlling the top Roche area, respawn in around 2 minutes. We'll be hanging around top for only about a minute at that point. At least some utility with Will-O-Wisp. With BKBs up on Natsumi, might not be the most impactful here for the side of Talon. It's just very scattered from Talon. They're trying to work the entire map, trying to get this farm. Maybe once Akashi gets Satanic, things could change. As of now, it doesn't. Again, it doesn't feel like it.
Here we go again. 5-man smoke here from Talon.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Running right towards Gabby. They might find Arbed. Arbed, he's alright. For now, not showing. Talon, though, still right behind the Pangolier. I mean, Arbed would be a fantastic target to take down first, but he does swash away at the right moment. The Illuminate going to kind of give away the positioning here. So now a counter smoke from Blacklist Rivalry. There they are going to find Jokam first. Jokam, he'll pop his BKB in time. He'll survive the initial initiation. Meanwhile, Arbed with the Rolling Thunder just scouting out the back, not finding anyone quite yet. Jokam will finally go down to the Pangolier. Arbed looking for a little bit more. Will run away from Akashi as now Natsumi with the Stampede will rush with the Battle Trance onto Akashi. Akashi needs some help, but it's just not coming. It is just not happening. Gabby will give him the tip. A double kill for Natsumi's. They'll even find WS and Ponyo. It's just every single fight is the exact same thing. Just pop Stampede, run towards the damn Gyrocopter, and pop Battle Trance. Every single time.
WS used his halberd way too early, without the commitment from Natsumi. So there's no bailout once more for Akashi. The Illuminate revealed the smoke from Talon as well, allowing that counter smoke from Blacklist into this Roshan. Nice easy take coming out for Natsumi. Full Satanic up now for the Troll as well. There are no solutions for the Troll. Like, absolutely none outside of the halberd. And WS, he has not been getting the halberd usage in the way they'd want to here. A messy set of engagements for Talon. Very clean from Blacklist, looking sharp in this game number 3. With this Aegis can really threaten the high ground. Only one outer tower left for Talon. Talon. Akashi's queuing up the Divine. He knows that it's starting to get to that point where he just has to pray to outdamage. The coordination feels lacking. It's falling apart from Talon. And Blacklist just keep growing stronger and stronger. This reliance on the tempo from Chuen never really came out. The Ags is doing minimal work with a spell immunity on Natsumi. And with the roll from Abed even. They just do not care about it. Will find themselves a nice Tormentor at the very least. We'll get 2 solar bind charges up for Chuen. A lot more healing from the Illuminate, but it just doesn't feel like it's enough. Blacklist in such strong form. Again, when this team comes in from the lower bracket 2-0 into the lower bracket finals, they just look insane. And certainly showing up here today.
It's a pretty tough time here for Talon in this game number 3. The Blacklist rivalry still looking very, very strong. They are still going to pay a lot of respect here to Talon. They're not overextending. They're not trying to rush high ground. They're playing a very clean game here, Blacklist. Just keeping the advantage they have worked quite hard to get. I just don't see the items that are going to make the difference yet. Like Akashi, maybe once the Satanic's up, he can actually fight back. But even then, I think you are really at the stage where you just require that Divine Rapier damage. It is really just starting to feel that way because the whole game is literally just on the gyro. Like, nobody else can really help him at this stage but him. Like, you've got an Io, but that's about it. Natsumi's going to show mid lane, but he has no fear in the world. Nobody's killing the troll wall at the moment.
No. Again, it just feels like there's so much pressure on WS as well to enable that fight for Akashi. That disarm, it's not coming out in the right targets. And if they don't manage to nail that disarm on Natsumi, and the troll has the freest game of his life. Last outer tower for Talon falls. The high ground can commence with the Aegis. We'll play it safe in Blacklist, see if they can drag anyone from Talon out. They are starting to clump around Akashi with the TPs. Akashi.
Well, pops the BKB, just needs the TP out though. There's no two ways about that. He'll have to let Ponyo go. Ponyo will happily take the sacrifice for the greater good. But man, oh man, it's just not getting any easier here for Talon. So now Blacklist Rivalry can just head right through the middle or top lane, depending on what they're feeling like. I highly doubt they're going to go for anything like high ground yet, but they do have 2 minutes on the Aegis to think about it. Either way, they could just keep the net worth advantage extending, which might just be the play here against the draft of Talon. But I would love to see an attempt at high ground.
They are keeping the lane shoved in. They can try to look for some punishment. Not quite finding it yet, but slowly but surely chipping away. Natsumi will get started on the tier 3. And again, a troll makes short work of these objectives. 2 lives on Natsumi as well. I do not see an easy way for them to contend with that on the side of Talon. The items just aren't there. The Satanic still not quite up for Akashi. He's trying to get his courier out the long way. Again, already down to half HP from just Natsumi hitting away.
Here we go again, Natsumi back down to the bottom tier 3 tower.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 3 tower, it's not going to last too long at all here for the side of Talon. They've got to find a way to defend this. Still a minute on the Aegis timing, so they are just patiently waiting. Jump is there, Gabby. He's found himself a target, and it's going to be Joe Cap. You've lost the Marcy already. No chance to pop the BKB that time around. And, well, with Blacklist getting the melee barracks, they won't risk losing their troll. They have left Gabby behind, but Gabby's got the Stampede, and looks like he's going to be fine anyway, as they actually take down Ponyo. And now the Io's gone for 45. He does at least have buyback, but he might be forced to just pop it for one last team fight.
Let's go that way. Akashi?
No one jump is there again, Gabby. He's going to find Akashi. There'll be no follow-up to it, though. Akashi is perfectly fine to back his way out. In fact, they're the ones trying to be aggressive right now towards the side of Talon.
Dire are scanning.
Now Talon going to retreat. 1 rack's down now. They'll 5-man smoke up. I mean, it does feel a little bit on the desperate side, this smoke, but see where it kind of leads them. They are heading across the map to the wrong side of the map if they wanted to go for a big fight. So what's the idea?
Have very few options.
Well, here we go. Lines are drawn back towards Blacklist. Smoke pretty close to wearing off. Wards are placed here by the side of Blacklist. It's a very good position for them to fight in. Zhao does get caught first, but he gets the force stuff away. So now WS is in trouble. The rolling thunder rolling right through onto Akashi, controlling up the gyrocopter. Akashi, he's got no play here. They'll still find Gen U up, but the buyback's going to come out. Akashi finally pops the BKB, but who can he actually hit? Chuan is down and Ponyo has gone to boot. WS will fall, and now Akashi's a sitting duck. They'll pop the battle trance. They'll have their way with him.
No buybacks.
That whole team fight, he just got kited. The Arbit just stunned him 3 times before he pops the BKB. And he had no one to hit.
Yeah, it's falling apart. Talon, no buybacks. Straight onto the tier 4s, but Natsumi around. Not going to take too long. Blacklist looking like they'll get that road to the Riyadh Masters at the Esports World Cup, and Talon falls short of the mark once again. And that's it.
Goes WS,
no buybacks.
GG's
called. 2-1
rivalry.
victory for Blacklist.
They have done it. Blacklist rivalry, congrats to the boys. They're on their way to the Riyadh Masters, Jonathan.
Yeah, quite the redemption arc for Blacklist, considering how their other qualifiers